Well, ELMs is obviously environmental land management. It's really a way of trying to engage farmers with their management practices on the farms to get them to concentrate on not just producing food but also to enhance the natural world around them. And I believe that we have to have those two. They're both hugely important to our survival. We have a planet that's really been trashed by sort of global domination, high input intensive farming, which we know is totally unsustainable and it's not going to end up well. One of the things I've learned over the years is that all life is interconnected, and I think we have to look at our farming systems more in that light. A system like ELMs gives farmers the opportunity to make that a reality. And we can't really separate these various strands of looking after nature, producing healthy food, keeping carbon in the soil. All of these things are sort of part of one big picture that we have to embrace as one. The recent review of ELMs by the government that's been talked about has left people pretty unsettled. If it's changed in any sort of way, I think it will be to the detriment of the direction of farming. The farmers that are on the cusp of making really positive changes will just revert back to full-on intensive production, and which we know is not sustainable, but they do it for as long as they could, and in the meantime it would create a lot of damage. What would be very disappointing is the fact that farmers are pretty much on board with it all now and really understand what it's about and are engaged with it, and that's taken many, many years, and it's taken a huge amount of money in terms of preparation of this whole ELMs project. And losing it now would be absolutely the worst possible timing. We know climate change is upon us, and that is going to be, as an overarching problem, absolutely huge. And land management and farming can play a huge part in mitigating that. One of the things I'm really glad to see is that the Wildlife Trust and farmers are working more closely together. I mean, I think this is really the key to rolling things out on a bigger scale and really creating some change. It's important to remember that in Gloucestershire that probably 70% of the land is actually managed by farmers. The Gloucestershire Wildlife Trust is doing amazing work with the reserves, but connecting all these pieces of land up together provides so much more value. And so getting farmers on board and having this fantastic advice from the Gloucestershire Wildlife Trust is very important to us in terms of taking this whole thing forward. I think with a lot of these things, we often feel sort of disempowered. We feel we can't do anything about it. But I think you could do a lot worse than write to your MP at this stage. I mean, I feel it's a really important point, and the more people that contact their MP, the more that they will take it on board and try and act to make sure that this stays on track. The information for contacting your MP can be found on the Gloucestershire Wildlife Trust website. So do it. Don't think about it, do it.